In the modern world, addiction and substance dependence is an epidemic that is unavoidable for some. The side effects of the substance dependence can severely harm one's quality of life. Substance abuse can be extremely difficult to kick as your body begins to need these substances to function. In this video, we examine why it is so hard to kick substance dependency by first asking, why do our brains get addicted in the first place, and what is the chemistry behind this phenomenon? To understand how your brain changes due to substance dependence, we first must understand what is happening in the brain when you consume addictive substances. Once consumed, in general, substances promote the release of certain reward chemicals. These reward chemicals flood your brain and alter its chemistry. Harmful drug habits are enforced using neurotransmitters like GABA, glutamate, opioid, peptides, dopamine, and serotonin. Your brain gets stimulated by reward neurotransmitters. This teaches your brain that the use of harmful drugs is to be rewarded. You become dog-like. To train a dog to do new tricks, you reward it with treats for desired behaviors. Your brain is like the dog, and the substance are the treats. So eventually, chronic consumption of addictive substances will end up creating a negative feedback loop, where your brain is rewarded for bad behavior. Your body is not craving the actual substance, it is craving the reward of that substance. Your body is craving the dopamine and the euphoria that one gets from consuming drugs or alcohol. Chemical equilibriums occur in reversible closed systems, where the forward and reverse reactions are happening at the same rate. Chemical equilibriums can be manipulated by changing properties of the reaction. Properties that can cause equilibrium shifts are concentration, pressure, and temperature. Altering any of the following is known as stress on the system. When additional concentration is added to a particular side, the system must shift to compensate for this new addition. Systems shift away from added concentration. For example, if you add to the reactants, the equilibrium will shift towards the products to compensate. Additionally, we must understand the importance of homeostasis. Homeostasis is the careful balance your body maintains to properly function. This controls everything. If your homeostasis is off and your body's pH level fluctuates too much, you die. This is how important it is. Homeostasis is a real-life example of equilibrium. Knowing this, we can provide a very good explanation of substance dependence. Since you are rewarded by your brain for consuming substances, it is easy to use them chronically. Over time, chronic use of drugs or alcohol forces the equilibrium of your brain to shift. This happens because by consuming addictive substances, you are effectively adding concentration of reward chemicals in your brain. As previously mentioned, the rules of equilibrium dictate that the equilibrium will shift away from the added concentration. This shift means your body will produce less reward neurotransmitters naturally. Once the chemistry is shifted, then one is substance dependent. Once your body becomes reliant on external chemicals, it can be hard to stop chronically consuming these chemical substances, as your brain constantly craves reward. Addicts recruit brain stress systems such as CRF or corticotropin releasing factor, and noradrenaline and dynorphin. This is because once your body becomes reliant on drugs or alcohol, it is supplemented with dopamine and other happiness chemicals. If that supplementation is not present, your brain will do the opposite to compensate. An addicted brain creates an environment where if an addicted person were to stop using drugs or alcohol, their brain would be overwhelmed with stress hormones, therefore creating withdrawal. This again creates another negative feedback loop where an addict's body needs these harmful substances to function. Although there has been no cure found for addiction, there are many treatments that can be used to fix the addiction. Many scientists have been doing endless amounts of research to come up with a cure, but nothing has seemed to work for them. Treatment to help stay drug-free may differ depending on the drugs used and if there are any medical or mental disorders present. It is important that follow-ups are attended to prevent a relapse. For many, change is hard, and it helps to have a guide or a schedule when trying to beat an addiction. Using meaningful dates as milestones is very helpful, as it makes a special day in their life even better. Making sure that the user changes the environment they are in is also a great way to help beat an addiction, whether that is making sure there is no reminiscence of users' addiction in their house, or dropping friends that may encourage relapse. Coworkers and family members may help encourage them to cure their addiction. Users could also use new hobbies to distract themselves from reality and take their mind off their addiction, as it is proven to be exceedingly difficult. Reflecting on the past may be seen as a good thing or a bad thing, but in this case, we want to use it for a good and not the bad. Using past attempts of quitting is a great way to find out what worked for the user and what may have caused them to relapse. Creating a group of people around you who all want to see the same thing, which is you succeed, is another great way to help you overcome an addiction. Those people will hold you accountable and help you get through the tough times when quitting. There are also many government services in place for people to go to when they need help. For some, they may think this makes them look weak, but the people at these services do not care about that, and all they want to do is help you get better and see you succeed. Going to ask for help only shows you want to change, and you caring about your well-being. To wrap things up, substance abuse and substance dependency are caused by equilibrium shifts in the chemistry of your brain. Chronic substance consumption is encouraged by a negative feedback loop present in your brain. Your brain is rewarding itself for drug addiction because when using drugs, dopamine floods your brain, which is a reward chemical. You effectively train yourself to be addicted. I believe that is a complete and full answer to our question.